Okay, ladies and germs, we're ready to go. I think I got this right, and I probably didn't. There's probably something that's screwed up, and you guys will tell me what's wrong, and then I'll fix it. But assuming I nailed it, I am Apcizzle, APC, alongside HotRodRe. Look at that custom shirt. Jim, Christ, and Smerk. Let's do some introductions. I don't think I've done this yet. I'm saying, like, I think it was like, hey, this is who you are. Actually, Europe, we did introductions, but not the first tribal banter. So, HotRod, talk about yourself.
Yeah, I'm HotRodRe. I am a 37-year-old married boomer that has not a lot of time, but very much has loved tribes for almost 3 decades now. Very excited to be on this podcast. I think this is the 3rd one that we are doing. I have so much to talk about. I want to talk about the finals patch notes that just dropped. The new patch is really fun. We got a few games in earlier. I want to talk about one of our guests here getting way too much power in the tribes community, and if history doesn't repeat itself, it often tends to rhyme, so that's something we got to look out for. And I'm really excited to talk to Smerk, somebody who I've known for a long time but is just getting introduced to this game. So cheers, everybody. Hope everyone's excited. And on to you, Jim.
Yeah, I've been I'm how old am I? 33-year-old gamer. Been playing Tribes since Tribes Ascent, ran a lot of tournament stuff there. Somehow got conned into doing it for T3, and I've been practicing my snaps. So
That's an amazing introduction. Do you
that
want
was
to?
your tweet, Hot Rod.
Oh yeah,
Infinity
because
stones.
he is collecting infinity stones.
Yeah.
Yeah, you.
You went right over my head, Jen. I
Yeah.
apologize.
That was a good one.
Here, keep buying me more time. Then pass it over to Smerk. Smerk, drag it on a little bit because I'm trying to give you guys some nameplates on stream.
Oh, drag it on. Yeah, I'm Smerk. I'm the new guy here to tribes in general. I'm 24, so young blood all around. Anything and everything out there I've probably played. So tribes is a little new to me. But FPS been in the world for a little bit. Way back even playing Counter-Strike, being an IGL for my little high school friends, playing Overwatch in college, did some tournaments there. So just got a love for FPS esports in general, and fps-z is new. But really enjoying Tribes so far, and kind of excited to dive into it, maybe get some hot takes in there that I maybe have. We'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, enjoying it so far, and happy to be on the podcast today. So thank you, APC.
Hell yeah, thanks for coming. And I feel like it's almost tasteful to start with, since we ended with you, but start with like the topic of like, you found Tribes. Did you find Tribes because I mentioned it to you? Did you find it because Hot Rod was talking about it, or your timeline? Like, I think, how did you find it, and what kept you to play for more than just one playtest?
That's a good one. So Tribes, I'd seen Tribes Ascend before. So I knew of its existence, but never really looked too far into it. I think when Tribes Ascend was coming out, I was playing PlanetSide 2 at the time. And so in my brain, they were the same game. And so I thought, well, I'm already playing PlanetSide. There's no reason to try Tribes, and never got around to it. But yeah, I think main thing APCs from you showing me Tribes and kind of looking into it. And it hits a good point that I don't really have too much of a competitive shooter other than grinding the finals every once in a while. And it just kind of looked like something that I would be into, especially with the movement. I think movement's such a fun thing that we've started to get around to in FPS games now, and I think that's one of the boons for Tribes. It's just that it's so movement-based with skiing that I think a lot of the current generation of FPS gamers are really going to enjoy playing Tribes.
Yeah, I think that's like the blessing and the curse of Tribes, right? It's the ultimate curse because it just makes the game that much more difficult. Add on projectiles. I'm getting demolished my first time playing. I'm never playing this game again because I'm not having fun. I'm just dying when I spawn and somebody's flying by me at 200 kilometers an hour. But to your point, and I was saying this with Apex, when they added that the sliding mechanic in Apex, people loved that. They were like, that sets it apart from all the other ones. All these more faster-based shooters are coming out, and I'm like, this could be a drug to Tribes in the future, right? Like, it's the gateway drug to Tribes. So I'm hoping that you got Pharah and her jetpack in Overwatch, you got your sliding in Apex and the movement there, that maybe Tribes has a place in the future. And so you saying that, maybe I'm right in some aspect, but what do you think, Jim? Is that what's your take on Tribes and its barrier of entry?
I mean, I was new to Tribes and TA, and it was the movement that got me into it. And I don't know. I'm still playing T3. I'm still having a good time, and I'm still really bad at shooting all those guns. But the movement just keeps me hooked. So, like, I think it's, it's fun. It's different. It's exciting. Right?
And then Hot Rod, did you start with Tribes 1 or Tribes 2?
I started with Tribes 2, yeah, when I was on 56K playing Tribes 2 and not knowing anything at all about how to play the game. And I didn't know how to play the game for 3 years playing Tribes 2, because all we would do is queue servers. There weren't like videos. I couldn't watch pro matches or anything like that. You would just queue and be like, that person's better than me. Let me literally follow them around in game and figure out what they're doing, right? That's how I learned how to play it. And I started with base, right? Which the movement in base was atrocious. It felt like you were in jelly, right? And then as soon as Classic came out, I was just a God-gifted gamer. So as soon as the speed increased and everything like that, I was immediately phenomenal at T2 Classic, and then went on to dominate anything else I did in that game, right?
Yeah, well, I'm realizing I'm so glad you said Tribes 2, because I think we have all breeds of Tribes gamers. I started with Tribes 1. Hot Rod Tribes 2. Okay, Vengeance. We'll put that one to the side. It's, maybe we'll get like, I don't know. I'd love to meet someone who started with Tribes Vengeance. I'm sure there's a rarity there. And then Ascend with Jim, and now Tribes 3 with Smerk. So we have 4 different generations of Tribes players here. And for me, with Tribes 1, what got me, I say it all the time. The thing that I would say, hey, Mom, check this out. And I was like, give me a break. I was 11, 12 years old at the time. But I was like, look, if I wave to someone, they'll wave back. That was mind-blowing to me, right? This was like 1998, 1999, where this is like mind-blowing. Yeah, I'm at 56K, and if someone picks up the phone, I'm going to lag out. So don't touch the phone. Don't call me, because then you'll lag out too. But yeah, that was that was just what got me hooked from the beginning. So yeah, I think from that, and like the new tech for the late 90s and just early gaming in general, to all the way to what Smerk is saying and the freedom of movement and it being exciting, this is the time for Tribes. But of course, I'm biased, so I don't know what my opinion means.
I mean, I think that if done right, it certainly can. But I'm glad that we have Smerk on here, right, as a new player. And I could talk to Smerk and have so many questions that will all center around, is this game fun? And is this game fun? For us, I would say it is to some extent. But I want to know how it is for a new player. Honestly, like, pubbing Tribes, right, is not my cup of tea. I'm not the biggest fan. I kind of get bored with it really, really easily. But competitive Tribes, playing pickups or something organized where there's a little bit more at stake and I'm trying a little bit harder, it's best of breed. There's no other. I don't get the same kicks from any other game, any other ranked mode, any other competitive game, right? So that's me, and I kind of want to toss a lot of questions at Smerk today, just around the basis of, you've played a bunch of games. I also think that of anybody that's on the panel tonight, right, Smerk, you probably know what the younger generation is looking for in a fun game, more than us. So that's kind of where I want to center a lot of the discussion with you is, do you think something like this is going to work, and what is it about it, right? Because a lot of the times, and I'm going to start it here, right? A lot of the time people will say the problem why Tribes cannot pick up new players is because it's so difficult. And I hard disagree with that. And I just wanted to talk about the movement. Like, how long did it take you to get skiing and the fundamentals and being like competent enough to ski around a map in Tribes? From how many hours do you think maybe it took you?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty quick. I think from the first time that I jumped in and started playing, I think I watched Blitz streaming in Discord, saw how he was skiing, and kind of ran with it from there. I think that what Tribes has is a very simple concept that, I mean, we understand how momentum on and off hills works just from knowing games, and anyone who's played a game before probably has some idea of that. There's so many games now that even when I was a kid playing games on my little iPod Touch, I made a meme about this before, but I think the game is called Flappy Wings or something like that.
Yeah.
That it was, same concept, that you've got the hills and you're going up and down and it's all that momentum. So the concept comes pretty easily. And I think it maybe took me 2 days to really figure it out. And obviously we've had changes with, the stickiness of how attached you are to the ground while skiing. Different base assets have had some changes as to how you glide over them, and the gravity and boosters and everything are changing. But I think all in all, skiing as it is a pretty easy thing for anyone to pick up.
And do you think, this is another question that I have to you, but do you think the game is a fast game? Would you consider, Tribes is about speed? And I'll please answer that, and then I'll go into kind of why I'm asking that question.
That's a good question. When I look at Tribes, it's a game about speed. It's a fast game. But currently Tribes 3, from what I've seen of prior Tribes, this doesn't seem as fast.
Yeah, I think that right now, you have a couple of characters, right? A couple of classes that can go balls to the wall, right? Outside of cappers, though, it's kind of everybody's still kind of slow and floaty in this iteration, right? I don't know what the game would look like if you change that, and if that, again, anything that's moving through the air will be considered fast now, because a lot of the times when I'm thinking about, okay, what do new gamers see in speed, like Fortnite and building in Fortnite and how fast that people can edit and flick to multiple targets and things like that, that game seems what I would think a younger generation player would be like, that's a fast game, right? Or Apex, when you're sliding and pushing enemies or something like that, that can be a fast game. Tribes, maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, what needs to happen is that the focus needs to be taken off of the flag for the entire game. Because we have so much that centers around that one point that it feels slow, because that's where all the fighting is. The only fast part is moving to and from bases. So there may be some ideas out there. I'd love to see a situation that maybe the generator isn't 10 feet away from the base. It's, on, I want to say it's Wave Mist, where they've got those side structures. Maybe you've got generators there. And maybe part of the goal is that you want to have a heavy that's posted up there defending, and maybe your heavy on the other team is attacking to get the gen there. And it takes the fight away from, just being on the flag to now I can move from this flag to go protect the gen. Maybe the gen's it's shielding the flag or something that creates kind of a pause, and we're moving the combat away from just being around that one central point.
This is why you're on the podcast, man, because this is really compelling information. Like, just hearing your thoughts on like your first reactions of it, is it intuitive or not? And like, it was like, yeah, it's a basic game. It makes sense. Oh yeah, lower the tunes. Hell yeah, you got it. I don't even know how loud it is for you, but I have it turned down now. But yeah, like hearing that. Your Doom's Hit Clips or Doomsday was saying like, yeah, indoor flags for more mayhem. I'd be curious on a couple takes. One, like, now imagine the flag isn't out in the open and you have cappers coming in at 200 plus and such. Let's imagine the flag is where the generator is and getting it out of there. How does that gameplay play out for you? Since you never tried that before, because that was something in previous tribes in some maps.
That's interesting. I still think that it keeps it a little too close. I really want to see what it would look like in some way moving fights away. But even going back to Wave Mist, like being able to control that middle hill, that's one thing that moves it away. And I think creates more points that you can kind of move around as a heavy, find some different areas to control and get out of that. But no, generators on the flag. I don't know if I do that, but it'd be interesting to see.
Now, man, I want to talk about this topic so bad, and I feel like we'll have to go back and forth on like talking to you about your new player experience. So we'll come back to it. But we're on the topic of game modes, and I'm sorry, but when I saw that tweet go out from the Tribes 3 Rivals Twitter or X, and they mentioned there's a new casual game mode, immediately theory crafting started happening in the Discord that I was in at the moment, and then reading all the other Discords of people guessing what it is. HotRod wouldn't tell me what he's thinking because he wanted to throw it at me hot here in the pod to get the live reaction. I said mine out loud at the gym, but I didn't say it to HotRod. I have a pretty confident viewpoint on what I think it is, and I'll be damned if I'm wrong. But I'm going to go last. Smerk, I'm going to start with you and carry on. Based off of what you know about the game, I want to know, A, what would be a game mode you would like to see? And B, would that game mode be the one that you think's coming out, or what do you think it would be?
I mean, TDM, I feel like is kind of the easy answer here. So I'll go ahead and shoot that one. I feel like giving an experience that players can go in and just be able to mess around with the physics, with the guns, and be able to take a fight anywhere. I think it's going to be good to just get them into the fundamentals. It's kind of like learning to drive a stick shift car. You almost want to learn how to drive an automatic first before you learn how to implement the pedal and the clutch and everything else. So with this, it's learning how to manage the projectiles and get a little bit of the sense of the movement, and then you're mixing in the going for CTF, going to the base, going to the flag, all of that.
Is that the game mode you want to see though, or is there a game mode that you would want to have instead of that?
Um, I think TDM is a good start. I am honestly not seeing another game mode I would want to try. I could go back to still saying like I want to see at some point, and I've seen a lot of people that kind of echo this, and I know that it kind of gets harped on, but almost a PlanetSide 2 level of territory control.
Oh, that'd be so
open
fun.
map type of thing. I think that would be insane, but I don't see that happening anytime soon, or maybe even for Tribes 3 in general.
I mean, Global Agenda was the high-res first game, and it was more of a massive scale. Throw Tribes in there. Maybe we got that. Dude, I would... Look, it's not the Tribes I want, like, in terms of, like, I want to play Tribes CTF, whatever, but I'd love to see a Tribes that's, like, PlanetSide. That would be so fun as a side project. Tribes Universe or whatever they were talking about, 15 years ago? Or I know someone in chat before said Battle Royale. I'm like, you know what? I'd play that. Like, I want to try it. I just want to see it. All right, Jim. Did I take out your thought? Is that what you thought it was going to be, Battle Royale?
Well, I have like a wishful answer. I don't think it's going to be Battle Royale. I have like my wishful answer, which I didn't know what this was called. I think HotRod told me it was Team Rabbit 2 when I described it to him. One flag, and you're trying to get it to like a goal on the other team's side of the map. I think that would be fun.
That'd be amazing.
I don't think that counts as a casual game mode, and I don't think it's what it's going to be, but I want it.
That is a keyword, casual game mode.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with like, give us your wish list, Jim. I'm gonna give my wish list too. But like, is that what you actually think it is, or you're just hoping that's what it is?
I mean, it's either TDM or Arena.
If it comes out to be Team Rabbit 3 or whatever, it will absolutely not be casual, and I will play the shit out of that.
Yep.
That was probably where I Team Rabbit 2. I played like casual Tribes 2 for a while, and then played Team Rabbit 2 and played that competitively, and then went back and played CTF competitively. So like that was my first ever, I guess, competitive shooter.
What team were you on for Team Rabbit 2?
Atomic.
See, I think that's where we crossed paths, because I went pretty hard in the paint. I played for Celerity, I believe. With King of Emus and folks like that. Yeah,
they're still around, man. I'm gonna have to. I was talking to him like a month ago. I'll get you in that Discord.
No more Discords. No more Discords. Get me out of server. I don't want more, dude.
Okay,
Stop.
I'll send you a DM.
DMs work.
So I am hoping it's like a race mode or Fall Guys mode or something like that. Something just ridiculous and stupid.
Oh my god.
Race would be fun too.
That's what I'm hoping it is. I don't think
strike racing or grab cycles.
Team Rabbit 2, not a single time. And yeah, it would be like, I think it's going to be Lack Rabbit or TDM, right? Because I feel like that's easy. But please give us a stupid fun race mode. That would be. I think that that's a good casual entryway as well. I think that's really clippable. And let me I would really like to chase Jim and shoot him in more modes than just. Please get the flag, Jim.
You're never
okay, Jim.
Dude. If they put in a racing mode and they build racetracks, I'm gone.
Wait, gotta be a better friend, HotRod. Come on, we've been saying this.
Yeah, well, okay. I'm gonna be a better friend to him, but every now and then you have to teach him a little bit. And
friendly
it's better that he loses to me than some other shitter that doesn't respect him, because I respect him greatly. Okay.
No, I get it. You know, I call it friendly banter. You know, you gotta be able to tease once or twice, but I'm just trying to keep us in check, because every day we could be a better friend to Jim. I think everybody in this community can be a better friend to Jim. All right, I need more people respecting Jim. He's getting all those the gems.
Look.
But
he's getting the Infinity Stones. Let's be careful with
the gems, the Smite gems. He's been playing a lot of Smite
lately.
Man. This is it. We can show him respect, but showing him respect doesn't necessarily mean giving him all of the power that is in the community and signing your life away to Jim. Okay, everybody was very quick to sign up for the draft. Didn't know that Google form was going straight to Jim. Okay.
That's a good darn point, man. I did not think twice either.
No, dude, we got all the privacy regulations now.
Yeah,
I don't want
GDPR
anyone worrying
compliant.
about getting their emails leaked.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
For
Don't
what it's
worry
worth,
about that, police.
Jim was immediately, and you could tell that he was GDPR trained at his job. He's like, we need to be GDPR compliant. It's a real deal. I was like, yeah,
We are
You're right.
GDPR compliant with that. Yeah. Everybody, don't worry. It's safe with me. However, Jim does have the keys to admin the tournament. So be prepared if you would like to dispute something. It's probably going to go massively wrong for you. If you're like, well, I think that we should have won this match. He's probably going to take away that match and the next one that you play. Right? So be careful. I have warned you. I've said my piece. Jim already has too much power. I'm doing what I can to keep him in check, but it's a community effort, guys.
Yep. All of us need to keep him in check. Thank you. By the way, Jim, how do you spell game mode? Is it one word or two words?
Couldn't tell you.
Smerk?
Type it into Word and you'll find out.
I think it's a tomato.
Yeah. What if I put a hyphen in it?
How do you spell esports?
Yeah, see, that's what I was like. I think if you had a hyphen to esports, that's how they do it, right? It's yeah, I'm gonna put hyphen just because it's silly. What I was gonna say before I give my answers, like the racing piece, the keys are almost there, and if we get tools in the future to make our own modes and maps or whatnot, imagine ski trials but strikes or grab cycles and all. Like we already have the checkpoints, and if you just do laps and you have to do it 3-5 times or whatever, like the keys are somewhat already there to build what's already there.
Dude, I want to be able to build my own racing maps, man. Like surf maps in Counter-Strike, but for tribes, that would be so fun.
Jim, would you play CTF if race mode existed?
No. No. I mean, I might if people wanted to, but if it was just me, I'd be like, nah, I'm racing.
Yeah. Okay, so I think it's one or the other, right? I'm pretty confident that it's going to be one flag CTF. That's my hot take guess and what I think is actually realistic. One flag CTF is very possible, and here's why. One, it utilizes the tech that's already there now in some way, like the maps, the flag stand, the spawns, all of that. I don't know how exactly you implement how you score, but there could be something there with CTF because, again, how do you take what you have in a week? I mean, I'm sure they were probably cooking it up for weeks, if not months, but how do you take what you have and repurpose it in a way that could be digestible for players, but also low effort for development in an alpha cycle game? The other one is what you guys are all saying is TDM. I think TDM makes way too much sense. I don't think Arena, that's not really casual, and that requires new tech and new maps. You can't play Arena on Catabatic. So if you're asking, if you're putting a new game mode, you either have to use what you have or make a completely different game in a way. But one flag CTF would be a lot of fun. It hasn't been done before, I don't think. Tribes 2? Well, no, in Tribes. Smerk, I want to hear where you're going to say this, but in Tribes 2, I remember it was called PJ's mod, and it was when, each team has a flag, but you can capture the flag without the flag being present, which we hate that with standoffs. I would hate that even more if it was present in the game. In fact, that was probably tested at one point. But what's a one flag CTF that you were thinking? And maybe when you say it's Smerk, I'm going to be like, oh, well, yeah, duh, I'm an idiot.
Well, not one flag CTF, and this is coming just as a recent Hoff main. I'd love to see some type of like hardpoint King of the Hill mode. Move it around the different points of interest on the map and give us an area that we have to go and just control. That'd be fun, but it would completely remove the need for skiing. There's no movement to it; it wouldn't work. But it could be fun,
I suppose. But like that, my second thought too was capture and hold. Like Tribes Ascend, one of the first modes that came out was capture and hold outside of outside of TDM and CTF. So that's another thing I'm trying to think of is so it could be like a capture and hold or like a King of the Hill kind of thing.
Is that points racking up as you hold on to the flag?
No, that it was more capture the hold of like a base structure. Like you have to hold down this like point. And there's like 4 points active on the map. So you go capture it. Cool, I got A. Let's go to B and try to capture that and get more points, more tickets. That was the game mode. No one played it.
Yeah. The other one.
I was just going to say, I'm fairly certain Halo 2 or 3 had one flag CTF. And Bombing Run, the opposite of it.
Bombing Run.
I played that shit a ton as a kid, and it was fun.
Yes,
now,
that's right.
In Halo, but I'll try it.
Jim, but
Yeah.
you don't like shooting people in tribes.
Yeah, but there's an objective, and I can ski fast, and you know.
Oh, okay.
Staying
What
on the Halo thought too, we've got those giant rings from time trials. I want to see what would happen if you take those giant rings, put them over a base, and make Griff Ball.
Okay, explain what that. Well, I don't know what that is.
You don't know what Griff Ball is?
I used to have a plushie or something. I didn't know what it was, but I was at like a gaming convention and someone threw this green ball at me and he's like, "Here, have it." And it was like a Griff Ball, I guess.
Yeah, I think Quidditch, Lucio
Okay,
Ball. If
that's
you
where I
played
was going.
Overwatch, yeah.
I've
you've
seen
got
the
a
Harry
ball.
Potter movies. Okay.
Yeah, flag pass it around, shoot it into a goal, score.
That's what I want, right?
It's similar to what you want, Jim, but what you want is more straight up Rocket League, I guess, or hockey.
Well, you can hold the flag and shoot
Yeah.
each other. Like people still shoot.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
Donler puts on a good one, like Hunters, if you guys are familiar, where
Don't know what that is.
it like the finals has it, right? You kill someone, they drop a coin, and then if you pick up that coin and you die, then you drop your coin and the coins you were holding. Like Hunters was the same thing, but with flags, and then you
Is
have to
that the
take it to
yard
the Nexus.
sale win?
Yeah, so if you have like 5 or more
Okay.
flags, you get the yard sale. Need Anarchy just to come in here for that. But that could be fun. That's more casual too. It's like a TDM, but with a little bit of spice within it.
So is casual? Let me just ask this: is casual more casual than casual pub CTF? Is that what we're thinking that means, or does it just mean
Yeah.
like not ranked?
That's a good point. I think in its current state, since we don't have ranked, then everything's casual already. So why add the word casual when everything's casual anyway?
Right.
So my take on casual is it's easy. It's something you just jump in and play without knowing how to capture a flag.
I mean,
yeah.
hopefully we're not building up a lot of hype for them to add back a 12v12 queue, you know? Because last time we only had 7v7, and I think it was labeled competitive. I mean, it could be a little bit of a disappointment now if it's just
Okay, Jim, we were trying to be positive here.
12v12.
There's
I'm
Jim.
being positive. I'm dreaming here, okay? I want all these ball sport things, Griff Ball, Team Rabbit 2.
It's gonna be a cool mode. It's gonna
One
have a
like
new
yeah.
map, right? And
Racing.
they're bringing the BXT back, and
Oh,
instead of
no.
a sniper rifle, it's gonna be an LG.
Oh no.
Please
Well-
no.
Well, Jim, how about let's go to this. You know, the Lord and Savior of tribes and the guru of competition and such. This new game mode, could it be what we play for the draft tournament?
I don't think so. I don't know. I think we're doing CTF for the draft tournament, but we'll see. I mean,
What if it's just amazing?
if they add a fun team game, yeah, you know, it'd be fun to run tournaments for that. I know in the like HotRod said, people used to play Team Rabbit 2 competitively in I guess in Tribes 2. I mean, why not? Give us something else fun to play. I'm down.
All right. Well, I was trying to make the flawless segue into the draft tournament, and like, I don't know how long we'll go here. I think usually a podcast here is like 90 minutes, and we usually go 2 hours. So I just want to cook along on the topics. So thanks for butchering my segue, Jim. But I am going to give the mic back to you, and I want you to talk a little bit about the draft tourney. I will start by giving a little preface of it all. This draft tournament, rivalsrumble.com. If you haven't signed up, sign up, especially if you're from Europe. And if you're awake in Europe right now, go to bed, then sign up. But we wanted to put together a tournament. I know it's early. I know there's people saying, why are we doing it so early? But Prophecy wanted to do something in celebration of the 25th anniversary of Tribes. There was a prize pool available to it. We got custom servers now. We're all competitive by nature, regardless of who you are. Maybe not so much esports, but you want to play to be the best. Well, I think this is a great way to approach it in a way. Like, since we have this as an option, let's try it out. Like, let's not wait for the perfect game, because we're never going to get that. Let's wait for a bug-free game. We're probably never going to get that either. But I think a draft tournament will help kind of be a fun, competitive experience while still being on a casual level. You don't need a team. You don't need friends. You just go to the site. You register. If you're good at the game or the game, register as a captain. Those captains will pick you as one of their teammates, and then you play for a day. There's no long commitment. You'll probably play for like 2 hours, 3 hours, and it's on a weekend. So like the one of the big focuses for this draft tournament was to make it as acceptable and open for everyone. It's not going to be perfect, though. I promise you. I guarantee you we're going to see a flag fall through the map. Someone's going to bitch about it. Well, guess what? Welcome to an alpha game. We'll do our best to, help people in those situations, but there's going to be bugs, and I just ask everybody who's participating to understand that, like, we're doing what we can. I want to joke around and say give Jim all the shit in the world, but I really don't want to say that right now because, in all honesty, like, the amount of time and effort that Jim's putting into this in particular to make sure that every little use case is covered for, which I'm like, Jim, relax. We don't need to go that deep in the rabbit hole. It might happen, but there's like 0.1% for it to happen. Don't worry. Like, he's putting a lot of thought and effort into it alongside of many other great people that I'll shout out real quick. Doomsday, thank you very much. We got Hausja with things. Fish Sticks helping with the pushing of the marketing of it. We have Cairo who's going to help with the production of it. And many other like consultants along the way that like is making this come to life. So it's not going to be perfect. It's going to be awesome though. It's going to be fun. Sign up. I'm done talking about it. Jim, do you have any spoils? Do you want to talk about where our mind is? Like, I'm okay with you saying what we're thinking because nothing's locked in.
I'll first thing I want to do is I did see a comment in the chat about not open to Asia, Australia. We don't have servers there. It sucks. For you guys, like, that's shitty. I agree. You are welcome to sign up to the NA or EU. That's totally fine. It's just, it is what it is. And so to move on from that, I guess before I finish that thought, hopefully we'll have something for you, as soon as we can. Obviously we're not, no one here is from Prophecy. The people running the tournament aren't from Prophecy, so we're making do with what we can. And on that note, like Adam said, it's an alpha game. There's going to be some bugs, but really we just want to make a fun thing for people. And our focus is not super competitive. It's not like everyone's going to be, in there trying really hard. Our main goal is to get captains who are going to provide a good experience for their team, including new players. So if you're hesitant to sign up because you're a new player, just sign up, give it a shot, And there'll be extra people on the team. So if you do play one game and you're like, wow, this really isn't for me, then, back out then. Don't be afraid now to sign up. I guess we can leak some things, sort of. We are thinking, I know I might get some negative reactions to this one. We're thinking NA, fairly large team sizes. So like I said, this is for fun. This is for getting people in. We don't want huge pressure on people. So we're just saying, hey, big teams. That may go up to 12v12. I don't think we've 100% decided on that yet. But NA may be up to 12v12. EU, we have a lower number of signups. So if you do want to get in your small team tribes, sign up there. You can sign up for the EU anywhere in the world. Totally fine. So if you're in NA and you were like, I want to play these small team games, sign up for EU. Well, smaller teams there.
And to call that out real quick, I know folks who signed up for, let's say, North America and then try to sign up again, and they're like, you edit your entry based off your email. Well, we're not restricting people from regions to play in both. You can play in both. You just need 2 Google accounts. So if you have an email that's like your throwaway email, just use that to sign up for the European one in this case. So just so you guys know, it wasn't said you can or you can't, but you're hearing it here. You can play in both.
Yeah, and if you want to do that 100%, that'd be great. Like EU, we want more players in that tournament. So please, if you're in NA and you want to play, sign up. Other than that, I guess another thing for new players is we're really focused in both. Their formats won't be identical, but they will ensure that you get multiple games and some closer games. So again, if you're a new player and you're like, I don't want to sign up and, play one map and get crushed, like, you don't need to worry about that. You'll get some closer games, ideally, as the tournament goes on, and we'll have you play multiple games. So everyone, every team hopefully should, I think our target is a minimum of 4 games they'll get to play. So, and that's NA and EU. So yeah, sign up, try it out, it should be
any new player that's like hesitant because they're going to get yelled at because they have no idea what they're doing. Like, this is for you. Don't worry about it. It's going to be, we're going to try to make teams large enough to where it's not a lot of pressure on a single individual. We're going to try to have captains that are going to handhold you and kind of teach you the game along the way and understand why we're running this tournament. And if anybody yells at you, Jim is going to yell at them, and nobody wants that shit.
Yeah. So exactly, like captains, we're picking the captains. There are going to be picked. The primary criteria is that they can provide a good experience for the new players on their team. Like if your team gets to, the final match and you guys want to go super try hard, totally fine too. But like the priority is good experience for new players.
Exactly that.
So sign up. Doesn't matter if you're by yourself. You'll get put on a team, and hopefully everyone has a good time. Like that's the goal. Like Adam said, we got a prize pool, so that's a great bonus for the winners. But yeah, like it's all about having fun. It's about having a good time. It's about trying out this new Tribes game in a competitive environment. So,
hell yeah. And Jim, are you playing in the tournament?
No.
And why not?
Well, because there's money on the line and I'm admitting it, Adam.
There it is. Yep. See, and same with me. I'm also privy to the rules and helping make them, so I cannot play either. Smerk, though, you're not privy to the rules and you're not helping make them. Are you signed up?
Oh, of course I'm. Think I miss it?
Did you put Hoff as your main role?
Yes, I'm pretty sure I did. I can't remember what else I put, but I know Hoff is in there.
How about captain? Are you a captain?
No, I didn't go captain because I don't know the players. Yeah,
Okay,
but we're getting there.
That's fair.
Next time.
It wouldn't be the right captain then. Hot Rod, though, you signed up?
I have not signed up, but I have just, I'm kind of waiting to see where I'm going to be needed most, and I hope to fill that role, be it captain, be it helping Jim with admin or whatever. So I'm kind of waiting to see how many people sign up and look at the captain selections that we can make to make sure that we have good ones. And if we need an extra, I would gladly step in.
Okay.
I think we should let's just amplify this quick because Doomsday just tested it out, I think. If you have a Gmail account, it sounds like you can add a period to it potentially and get signed up that way.
I mean, a lot of times when I need to sign up for multiple accounts for one thing, I put it in chat too. It's like put your email plus whatever number you want at gmail.com, and usually they accept that and it all goes to the same inbox. So there's a lot of ways to do that. I wanted to go over a couple more things with this draft tournament. I see this plain and saying, you said, is prophecy helping by providing any context of player ability, or is it just shooting in the dark for some folks? I think it's more the latter. It's really to provide like more for the community that's playing today. Like, and I respect that, right? Like, there's a lot of people that as soon as custom servers came out, we went to PUGs, and a topic that we need to get into, but playing pickup games, PUGs, and they want to celebrate. They know Tribes has always been like had this competitive community. Again, it's been 25 years now that the Tribes franchise has been out, so this is them kind of tipping a hat and giving the community something less than it is like adding more to it as like a marketing vehicle. But as Jim's putting it, we want to open it up to more arms than it is like a super sweaty competition, because look, we don't really have enough for super sweaty competitions right now. We just got custom servers at a very base level, which goes into the first thing I wanted to talk about. God damn, my segues are crushing it. I need spectate mode, and I need your help to get that for me too, guys. So Fish, you beat us to the punch, but in the feedback channel, damn, it's been archived now, hasn't it? We might need to start a new one, boys.
Yeah, let's start a new one. We can gas it.
So we need some spectate. We need people to help amplify the word. We need spectate. And I hate to be that guy. I don't want to go out with a riot. Because look, I don't know if we'll have spectate or not going into this draft tournament. The goal is to have a broadcast. The number one goal is to make sure everyone has a good time and it's open for everyone. But I do want to have a broadcast so we can create some good clips and content against it. CB, Blair himself, wants to put together some cool stuff behind it. There's just so many reasons. I'm not going to list why we need it, except for it really would help the tournament if we have one. So if we can get a post out there, everyone gives it a thumbs up. Every thumbs up matters. Man, I sound like a politician, but instead of votes, it's thumbs ups. But if we're able to get spectator, we can do a lot with it. If not, there's still ways around it, but it's not clean. It's not clean at all. And we'll make do with what we have, but I'd prefer having something more polished. And I have plans and people working with us to create a polished experience. So anyway, I wanted to say that as the first one. The second one I wanted to talk about a little bit with the captains and how that process goes. So if anyone's interested, like we're still locking down details for the most part, but here's where we're at today on it. We want to look at our list of captains by Friday. And by Friday, we want to pick, if possible, the captains and then have a meeting with those captains before we get to the draft, which is the end of next week, the 26th and the 27th for the regions. When we talk to the captains, we want to break down what we're doing and such and hear their input, like get some value from their perspective and such. And then by January 25th at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, I don't know what that is for Central European time, but all signups will close for the tournament. So if you're late after that, you cannot sign up. So sign up by the 25th. But at that time, Jim and I can get on a call and look at all the signups that we officially have, create a list for our captains. We'll send it over to our captains as soon as possible. So they have the evening of the 25th all the way until the draft occurs for both regions to review the lists and their favorite picks and whatnot. That will also, if we're good at our jobs, and I can't promise anything, we'll put those players publicly on the rivalsrumble.com site so everyone can start making theory crafting with it. You know, like I would love to see Fishsticks turn on his stream and then look at the teams list before the teams are drafted and say, I think these are the top picks or whatnot, right? There could be some really cool content that goes against that. Friday evening around 5-6 p.m. Pacific, we'll do the North American draft. Well, I'll do that live on probably my channel here, just the draft portion that is, and have other people if they want to co-stream it and all on doing the live draft and seeing where you get selected, if at all. The process of this draft tournament, all we have right now that I'm comfortable to talk about is it'll be a snake draft, meaning if there's 10 captains, the first round, we'll start with the first captain. It'll be randomly selected. I'll do that live too to make sure there's no collusion. But whoever is seeded as a captain 1 through 10 will pick the first round. Once we get to the 10th person, who's the 10th pick, round 2 begins, and the 10th captain gets to pick the 11th pick. And then it goes backwards down to seed 1, and then starts with seed 1 and goes back to seed 10, right? So a snake. That's a snake draft. We'll do that with North America on Friday, and then the European draft will take place on Saturday morning before we start the North American tournament in the afternoon. And then the European tournament, as you know, takes place on Sunday in the evening hours, afternoon hours for Central European time. Morning hours for me, I got to get up early and cast, so hopefully I'm all chipper by then. So I said a lot in what I was hoping to be a little bit of time, but I wanted to give folks an understanding of not just the tournament and why we're doing it, but some of the nitty-gritty details that we're working out in terms of the draft process and such. Any questions, comments? Did I leave anything out?
The only thing is we have 2 new please add spectator mode, and we need spectator mode now feedback posts up in the official Discord if people want to navigate there and give it the thumbs up.
Please do not spam the feedback thread with multiple threads on the same thing. That's going to work against us if we're being jerks about it. So let's really consolidate it on 1 or 2. But all the thumbs up in the world hopefully give us what we need. And there's a lot that I would like to have. I want pauses. I want infinite spectator slots. I want to be able to create hotkeys to, set cameras in certain positions and spectate the flags and all this stuff. But at the very, very baseline, all I need is 1 or 2 free cams. I want to see player names and their health, the IFFs for the flags, and be able to look at who's in the map by pressing tab. Like, that's what we need at a very, very baseline. I want more, but if I was just to get something in guaranteed, that's my minimal viable product, I keep calling it.
Speaking of this, I have this memory in my head of working. I was working at a bar. It was super boring, and I was sitting there watching Tribes Ascend matches in the kitchen. No one was ordering anything, and it was Tao of Tribe. They took the flag into the generator room on Rain Dance. It was glorious. Please let me watch Tribes again.
And I keep saying content, but like content is really helps get people out of the woodwork and get the name out. So if we're able to create content using spectator mode in the top 5 plays and, getting VODs out there and all that, and then sending them out and getting the Tribes 3 officially tweeting them out and whatnot, like that's only going to help this matter. So
can we talk about Jim working at a bar for a few?
You know what? That one did go past me, and I should have addressed that quickly. Let's get back on track. Let's go there. Jim,
I worked in a kitchen for 4 5 years. I don't know, from my 3rd year of university, a few months in, till the summer after my 6th year of university.
What was your least favorite thing to make? Did anybody ever order something and you're like, damn it, I have to make this?
We had our kitchen manager got fired because he shit talked the owner on Facebook, and a new kitchen manager came in and they wanted to do eggs Benedict.
Lord.
And so I had to poach eggs, and they put boiled eggs on the menu, which was infuriating. It was already so obnoxious to cook eggs.
Oh man.
But yeah, coming in the morning, having to make hollandaise, and then like.
Did anyone
Juggle
ever
it.
give a compliments to the chef?
I don't think so. No. It was the dive bar. It was actually really funny because it would have been, 8 years ago. I bet when TA came out, I was working there, and they had decade-old best wings in Toronto awards on their wall, but nothing within the last decade. So the food was not good anymore.
I'm sorry about that, Jim. That's not on you, though. Just like if this tournament goes bad, it's not on you, bro.
No.
Jim, I could see the hat on you. I want to see Cooking with Jim. Like, can you promise me we'll get that one day?
One day, yeah.
I want that so bad. I'm holding you to it. Clip it. All right. Well, I had to change the topic to Chef Jim. Smerk, do you have any questions for him before we move on?
Yeah, I put in chat. Which came first, the Jim or the egg?
I don't think I even know.
All right, let's think on that one. That's a solid question.
Yeah, let's go with the egg.
All right. I think I want to go into pugs. You guys want to talk about pugs?
I do want to talk about pugs. I want to air all the dirty laundry about what has happened, if anybody feels comfortable doing that. And then I want to go into what we should do.
All right, I will, I guess, fill everyone who isn't filled in already in. So, Blitz had set up the T3 comp Discord for us. I don't think he had ever intended to run it long term. He was just there really early. So, I think on the weekend he just decided, hey, I want to focus on my life. This is too much work for me right now, and he transferred it to me. With it, it's not so much I own the Discord now. I'm not looking to kind of run it as a one-man show.
We saw that one coming.
We've put together a small group of people, 2 people from NA, 2 people from EU, plus myself, to kind of guide the server in the right direction. And we may look at adding people to that group as well. And there's a lot of talks going on about various things. I know there's a TA community that has kept that game alive for 8 years, and obviously if they move over to T3, we want to welcome them and have people who kept their game alive helping us. So for now, there's been a lot of discussion maybe between some people about pickup bots. Our hope is to have a true skill bot ready as soon as we can, because I know a lot of players want that. And then as we kind of move along, we'll try and get that whole situation more sorted out to potentially have tiers and things like that. So really, we want to have a welcoming environment for new players, but obviously we're also aware that some people want really competitive matches. So we want to deliver both there. And currently it's just a lot in the air with the tournament and with getting this set up and everything going on. So hopefully people can be a little patient while we work through all the issues there.
So I think one of the main topics I wanted to go into pugs, and actually before I say that, I agree with Canuck here, is I'm fairly certain this was the plan all along, to Blitz handing it off to you. Oh, big surprise, Jim's now in charge. Now this was probably planned, and it just happened in front of our eyes. No, I'm okay, Jim. No one told you. Yeah. We get it. But I do think what the main thing I wanted to get into on this topic was the true skill bot versus the captain's bot. I think that's really that there's let's just say a 50-50 split to keep it even. I only experienced the captain's one, and I go back to my tried and true, what I've done in many iterations of playing pugs in other games, outside of tribes even, and there was always a captain. And you know what? We didn't have Discord, we didn't have bots. It was always, you had to do it manual. It was the older days, so we did what we could. At IRC, I'm sure there was something, but we just did like mumbles and team speaks and such. But the true skill bot allows for quicker queues, allows you to have like a way to look at your stats as you play and give meaning to your pugs a little bit. Maybe makes it a little bit more competitive, but adds value to the time that you're putting into your pug. So I see both sides. I've only played one side. I like the captain side, but I want to try the true skill one. So if we're, I'm now in the EU or the other Discord because I want to play in those next this playtest tomorrow. We have a playtest tomorrow. But a question for you, Jim. Lord Savior Czar. Do you go by Czar Jim now? What's the name?
Emperor
Jim.
Emperor
Got
Chad.
it.
No,
I like
Chad,
Emperor
please.
Jim.
Emperor Chad Jim.
Emperor Chad.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Chad Christ.
Emperor Chad Christ. Can we have a true skill bot test in that Discord? Is that an idea? Is that a plan?
I think, and Adam, while you were talking, I need to correct something I said before that's really important.
Uh-oh.
Because I think I said we were working on setting it up, and like Doomsday was working on setting it up. He has put so much time into that T3 comp Discord. So really it's Doomsday. I think Apcizzle has jumped in to help him out as well, judging by the chat. Apcizzle actually wrote the bot for T1. We don't need to go too much into it, but like shout out to both of them because they are the ones who got that bot in place for us. Now, can you remind me what your question was? Sorry, I just felt so bad because I'm like, I just said we've been working on this, and really it's Doomsday.
Well, hopefully people in chat are giving the new people who are interested in being involved with this community the right Discords and stuff.
Doomsday says it's up, so we have True Skill in T3 comp.
Sick.
I think.
Sweet. So, I guess my question was exactly that. Is like, can we give that true skill bot a shot in the T3 Discord? And then I think it comes down to like a council or just like talking with the community because I don't think there's going to be, everyone saying, okay, let's just do true skill. Like there's going to be a split always. So how do we approach that? I think the goal is to have everything as much as possible within one Discord. So we're not segmenting the community, and we know the community is small now, but at the same time, we don't want it to be overly sweaty. We want to be welcoming to new players. So do we have like a tier system where HotRodRe, I think you suggested this, and I freaking love it, is like, you have to play 20 pugs, let's just say as a number of like the captain bot or like the new blood pickups before you can go jump over to the true skill pickups and play in the more sweaty pugs. That way we are having some kind of environment that the new blood people aren't playing against the more hardcore people. Now that's allowing us, that's if we have enough players, I would say, in our server, but I don't know. These are thoughts I imagine are going on.
Yeah, I mean, I think that makes sense to me, right? Is we have everything in one server, but we have let's say everybody that's in the server can queue for a pickup. Once you hit like 20, right, pickups that you've played in, or we can like grandfather the more experienced players into an extra role, they then get access to add to true skill pickups. I think that solves a lot of the problems of two communities. It solves a lot of the problems of true skill as well, because after 20 pickups, hopefully like everybody that's going to be in a true skill is gonna you're gonna have a capper at that point, right? You're gonna have experienced players. You're not just gonna have randos that are queuing for true skill that are like have no idea how to play a position, right? So I think that would work. I think it's pretty cool and you can do some cool things in Discord. We'll give special roles to everybody that can queue True Skill. If True Skill wants to have a leaderboard, we can give special roles for the top 10 on the leaderboard. Things like
that's
that.
cool.
So we can put it like up at the top, so it's actually something that people can try to grind for. It's going to make those True Skill pickups a little bit pretty sweaty if there's some things on the line, such as leaderboard and roles and rankings, but if you have to play a certain number of pickups to do that, to even get into the door, I think it's good. And I'm not worried about gatekeeping at that point because it's in the same Discord. And we are thinking that as the game is new, we're going to have more new players that are trying to queue the regular pickups and therefore will not hurt the game, right? Or hurt the competitive scene.
Yeah, I have the feeling, and I'm sorry, this is where I'm going to be not a normal side of me of being a pessimist, but I expect the Discord to be segmented one way or another in some shape or form, right? Like you can't always please everyone. And it's kind of a goal of what we're trying to do with that T3 comp Discord is trying to please everyone. But I know that there's already another Discord that's for sweaty comps, and it has or sweaty pugs comp, whatever. And it already has a leaderboard and all that, and people might not want to leave that already. And I understand it. I think that's the inevitable future. We're gonna have a split, like a sweaty side. But I think just talking about it here on like where it currently stands, when Emperor Chad Christ is in charge, like what the direction is meant to be. And since we have the Lord and Savior himself here, I want to hear more.
I mean, there's a lot of benefits to running it in one. If people are really just like, we just like our own friends and we don't like anybody else like intruding on this, then there's nothing we're gonna do. We're not gonna stop them. I mean, like they're gonna think we're weird, and I'm probably gonna think they're weird, but that's what it is. But like everybody being in the same Discord, promoting that Discord is gonna help the scene, right? You can, like, if I have to sell it to the tryhards, we can actually get you better voice quality in a server that's like nitro boosted versus a rando ass server that you just stood up and put a true skill bot into, right? So there's that. And then like I think that if the official leaderboard, right, for pickups or whatever is in the T3 comp Discord, I think that keeps players there.
Yeah, so like to talk about this a bit, I think one of the things that we had that let us extend competitive play in Tribes Ascend so much was bringing in new players. And we had different events for that. We had New Bloods tournaments initially. We had New Bloods pickup nights. We did all these things, right? And, I think we always managed to find a compromise. Like back in the day, we didn't have bots and we were all sitting on Mumble. So what we did was we had, okay, you guys want to play tryhard pickups? We got enough people for 2 games, so you pick first. We get 2 captains. They picked first. They queued up for 1 game, and then we got the rest of the players picked for another game, right? So like, there's ways to sort these things out. I think, a lot of players want, hey, you get your MMR to, or whatever it's called, whatever the rating is, to this number, and you can play in this top tier one, and like that's certainly something to discuss too. I think really the thing to do right now is to build that competitive community, and that means getting in new players, because there's only so much of us, old dudes coming over from whether it's T1, T2, Midair, Tribes Ascend, whatever, to play Tribes 3, right? We need to get those new people in. So what my kind of goal with the T3 comp Discord over the next few months is really to just build that pipeline that gets us those new players coming in. Some of those guys will be picked up by the top teams, just like they were back in the day. Some of those people will form their own teams, right? And the goal is that, eventually, not only can we have regular pickups for people at various skill levels, but also regular team competitive matches. So that's the goal. That's why I think most of us here want to keep everything in one place if we can. And we'll see what the future holds, right?
Well,
if it does, if Tribes gets big enough, honestly, that we can have a server for newer competitive players, and we can have some invite only thing that has all the top players, if Tribes 3 gets big enough to do that, that is great, right? That's a great thing.
Yep. And yeah, someone said this in chat, but I think this is actually a decent thing to think about. If and when, and it seems like it's a when, the game itself has a ranked queue, which is essentially pugs, and it's a true skill bot that you click on a button and now you're in game and you get matched up with people. How much is a pickup scene needed? Now, I can answer that question myself, but I want to, pass it off to you guys to think about.
Yeah, I probably should have let Jim and Smerk go, but Jim's been rambling on like crazy, and somebody's got to shut that guy up. So I'm not
the good friend in him. There it is.
I'm not a big fan of in-game ranked, right? I think it works good for BR games, but outside of that, I think a community-built rank system or pickup system or semi-competitive system is better for the health of competition, right? Jim, I actually want to talk about this for a second, because we never used to have that back in the day, right? And
Yep.
It used to be when we had Tribes Ascend or any other tribes game, we would have tons of teams sign up for a comp, right? And I think in-game ranked and giving the kids the ability to climb an in-game rank leaderboard, almost they substitute that for actually joining a team and trying to climb a ladder or trying to place high in tournaments, right? Because it kind of fulfills the same look at how good, like it verifies how good they are at the game by just their in-game ranked. In my opinion, it doesn't verify that, right? I don't think you're shit unless you're winning tournaments. That's my hot rod opinion. But if your name's on the leaderboard, like you have something to point to and say, look, I'm the number 1 ranked tribes player, right? But if you haven't won a tournament, you haven't won shit, in my opinion. So therefore, I wish there didn't exist a ranked inside of that. And it was all basically you play pickups or whatever with what we set up, right? Because I feel like we can do a better job. And then it focuses on tournaments or a ladder, whatever gets set up there. And that's how you know where your ranking is. It's what team you're on and where your team sits.
I think that's the hot take of the night right now. Smerk, do you agree?
It's a hot take.
Agree that it's hot take, not agree with Hot Rod.
Yeah. I think that they're not having ranked is detrimental to FPS games in our current gaming environment. What do you want to call it? Because if we look at competitive FPS games right now, and I'll classify tribes in that category, there's not enough content to constitute people playing consistently with just a casual mode. Ranked mode adds to them having a reason to go back and play over and over again. And I think that having the true skill bot, having the PUGs, is solving and adding to an issue. And it's something that we see in a lot of these new and upcoming games. When I played Omega Striker, if anyone ever played that game, it was a prevalent issue there. And it's usually an issue with smaller games that are trying to create a competitive scene. Is that when you're playing ranked, as you grow in the ranks, depending on the starting player base, it becomes harder and harder to find a match. And so what happens is that you have these pro players, you have vets, whoever, that are up in the ranks that they can't find a match, they immediately go to smurfing, they flood into the new player queues, and they start to create a hard time for new players. So the true skill bot, I think, takes some of that out to where now players that are going to be in the higher ranks, if we have a ranked mode, have an outlet that they can go to that they're not finding matches. It's an alternative to smurfing. They can go and find somewhere else to queue. They can still play the game. They don't have to worry about these long queue times. But at the same time, that adds to the issue of then we're pulling those players out of the queue. So then people who aren't integrated into those PUGs and into that system then don't have a match, and they just rotate back into that same starting issue.
Okay.
So those are some thoughts on it. But yeah.
Yeah, I like the polar opposites between the two of you, which then Emperor Jim, I mean, let's keep it under 20 minutes, but let's hear what you got.
Yeah, cut me off if I ramble too long. No, I'd like to, okay, let's be real with everyone about what we're trying to do with this T3 comp server, right? And that is to build a community that delivers what the competitive players want, right? And at the end of the day, if the competitive players are saying, hey, we want true skill PUGs, then they're gonna get that, right? If they stop using that and they all go play ranked, I'm cool with that too, right? At the end of the day, it's all a means to get teams. Well, it's to entertain people and give them what they want, but it's also to get teams playing real games, like real tournament matches, right? Because I know, at least from my experience with Tribes Ascend, that's, I think, what everyone really wants to do. You know, we would run, I think, for a year, we were running maybe 2 pickups at a time a night. But when we had our house league matches going, we had like 20 teams playing, right? So it's about giving the competitive community what they want. And if they, want true skill pickups, if they want pickups of any form, they can have them. If they go play ranked, then we can get rid of them. Really doesn't matter to me. It's what they want. And honestly, what I want to be doing is facilitating an environment for those competitive teams to form currently, right? And we can talk a month or two down the road if we change what we're doing. But
Like
right
we
now, it's like get those games.
we were talking about this the other night, Jim. But when like season 2 or something of Pro League, we had what 10 Pro League teams and 20 House League teams.
I think it was 8. Yeah, 8 Pro League and something like 20 or a bit more.
Yeah.
Sweet.
There was
And-
around 30 teams.
So each team had like at least 10 players on it, probably too, right?
Yeah, it was a huge number of people playing this game that people had months before declared as dead, right? And
That's a
stopped
massive.
playing,
If our competitive scene in T3 was like 30 teams or something, anywhere close to that at launch, I would be ecstatic. That would be absolutely incredible, right? I don't know if it's. I mean, I guess I'm being a pessimist, but that seems very far fetched to me. Right now in today's gaming culture, and damn it, I think I'm blaming ranked for that, because I think people are substituting ranked for joining a team and playing in scrims.
Yeah, I can see that, but I mean, look, my
It's not the only
take,
culprit.
like ranked play, if there's something attached to it, whether it's like on Overwatch, you could get a gold gun if you have X many competitive points. I'm freaking grinding comp because I want that gold gun, right? Like,
I would
whether,
too.
right? Like, if there's incentives, or it's you get a title of some sort, or there's a leaderboard, and the only way you could be on that leaderboard is if you're playing comp on or like ranked queue. Like those incentives that I hope exist if there's ranked play, which again I think it's mentioned that there's gonna be ranked play. Then I'm sorry, like as much as I want to play pugs with the boys, I gotta grind the game. I gotta grind what I want to have to separate myself from the rest. So I think that's the big thing. Is like it also provides like, and I think Fish said this, is like it is like almost like a gateway drug, or it's how I interpreted what you said. Fish is like it allows more people to get into that competitive mindset outside of just queuing up for a pub, and maybe they never even hear about the PUG server. We could scream as loud as we want, but most players won't learn about this Discord. It'll be word of mouth for the most part, right? But if we have ranked play, there's actually a good chance that person becomes more dedicated to the game. There's more stickiness to the game. And then they might graduate to play more competitive on a team, join the Discord, play pugs, or do scrims and all that. I think ranked allows for that community to grow versus what we have today with tribes. Like, yeah, the first thing we asked for was custom servers as soon as we played one map of the first playtest. Like, all right, where's the custom servers? We want our pugs. Like, we exist, but we didn't have our ranked queues in the past, so we thrive off pugs. We never had a ranked queue in tribes, which is really weird, and I look forward to it in a tribes.
We also don't know what the ranked queue settings and everything are going to be, and we don't know if that's what the competitive community agrees like we should be playing. Right?
Didn't Eras though? Like, were you there when he did his little Q&A like at the very beginning?
Yes.
He
did say that they would have it. Yeah.
Well, he did say that, but he also said he wants to build like whatever the ranked queue is whatever the comp community decides, right?
Okay.
Like, so there is. He did say that, and someone can thumbs up me or thumbs down me if they heard that too. But I'm fairly certain that's like they won't add what's competitive, or they will adjust what's competitive based off of what the demand is from the competitive community. So these pugs we're doing do help for that.
Yeah, it's going to be basically, I guess where I'm worried now is queue times, right? What's that going to look like because you're already splitting the community between pubs, pickups, and ranked. Are we just going to queue for a pug and also queue for ranked at the same time, and whichever one pops first, that's the one we play or something?
We go back to how we started doing matches for playtests. Is all right, guys, give me the countdown. Get Anarchy. 3, 2, 1. And then we all queue ranked, and we hope we're popped on the same server. And then we find Smerk is way too elo, and he never gets into our games.
Sorry, Smerk. That was uncalled for, honestly.
I couldn't keep picking on Jim. I had a jab at somebody else, and I can't jab at the co-host, so.
You can jab at me, bro. Everybody's hating my take, and I'm just taking this as, look, I read the feedback that you guys write, and holy shit, I hope Prophecy does not.
Damn it.
I want to be clear. I'm not hating anyone's take here. My honest opinion on whether there's ranked in the game or pickups is it doesn't matter to me. Like, I just want people to be able to have fun. And I will be perfectly happy if we have like 8 teams of us old dudes who want to play on teams, in that Discord playing regular matches. Like, fine, we'll settle for that. I'd prefer more, but like I will settle for 8.
I want ranked. Sorry.
I mean, I think it. Look, they should put it in the game. That's fine. They can do that. I will queue it if it's in the game. If there's a leaderboard, I'm going to try to be as high on the leaderboard as I possibly can, given the time that I have. However, I think the competitive scene will be better off without ranked.
I'm gonna put up verses between us, so we're fighting right now. Hot Rod.
Okay, that's fine. That's all I'm saying. Like, maybe the game does better, but the competitive scene will be hurt from it.
You think it'll be hurt from it?
I think it's going to be hurt from ranked. I like, that's just, I think people replace joining a competitive scene or joining a team with just grinding ranked. Ever since ranked started being prominent in video games, this is how it's been, right? You log on to like Twitch and look at most of the people. They're just like, oh yeah, I'm going to stream and grind ranked tonight in Apex. That's what I'm going to do. Versus how many scrims are there? People don't do that. They play ranked, maybe a few scrims leading up to a LAN, and then they play their matches. That's it.
All right.
We didn't have ranked. We played scrims every single night, and if we didn't.
That was
have
a damn good time.
Scrim, we played pickups. Yeah.
No,
And tons of people were on teams, and they weren't, even if they weren't very good, they were on teams.
Yeah, and then I mean, Jim, do you have any leaks on any like upcoming tournaments beyond drafts, so we can start scrimming for those?
I mean, obviously the goal would be to have the drafts lead into some form of tournament. I feel like hopefully at some point there'll be some young college student like I was 10 years ago who steps up and kind of can prove themselves maybe a few months or a year from now and kind of take over. But like, yeah, obviously like draft tournament leads into hopefully a real tournament with real teams.
I bet there's people out there though. Like I had like after I did a couple streams, I had a couple people reach out and say how can they get involved, right? And I love it. I want to get them involved anywhere I can. So let's get a mini gym out there.
Yeah, like I was back in the day, dude. You know, I don't know. I spent a whole year running tribes tournaments and like slowly making my way through university. You know, and it was great. I don't know if that sounds like you. You know, if you're part-time school working in a bar kitchen and you want to run tribes tournaments, hit me up.
Now we're on hot takes, and Smerk, you said you might have a couple for the show. Do you have anything here? I kind of want to move this versus because I don't like the hostility between me and Hot Rod right now, so I want to move this versus down to you and Jim. Is there anything that's a hot take that you can add to this, or just in general from your point of view?
I would like to apologize for the hostility.
I mean, if you
Make
want
fun of
hot
Jim.
takes-
Yeah, make fun of. Tell him he has too much power, and tell him like he needs a hat, and that his eggs Benedict sucked.
I mean, okay. I
Oh
make great
boy.
eggs Benedict for the record.
God.
Still,
I
the rest
mean,
of that fine, but the eggs Benedict.
I wouldn't want to make fun of anyone that I could beat in a tournament, so that's why I just don't talk too much shit on here. But it is what it is.
You probably could beat me in a tournament at least. I don't know.
I guess
Jim,
we
you're
won't
not
find
supposed
out.
to take that, Jim. What have I taught you?
What am I supposed to say?
Call him a shitter.
Learn to be shitter.
Oh, my feelings hurt. No, if y'all want hot takes, we could hit some hot takes. Depends on how long y'all want this to go, though.
No, we got a few more minutes before we get to that 90-minute mark that we start questioning if we're going too long. But yeah, I hope it's like you being here from that new player perspective. I hope it's a hot take against tribes, and you're gonna get people riled up.
I would agree with
mean-
that probably.
Yeah, we'll start with light is the most overpowered class right now.
Well, that's just a lie. That's not a hot take.
Okay.
That's just you straight up lying. Let me just inform you, Smerk, that up until Tribes 3, I have never played or mained any class other than Light, and I had no desire to play any class other than Light. Thank you for the X over his face, right? So there used to be some advantages to playing Light, Smerk, and I know you think that you guys just didn't know how to play the game back then, but it was nice. It was glorious. All right? So come on, but like, look, I know you're trying to impress Jim too. I always am. He has a lot of power over you, but you can give us something a little bit better than that.
All right. Well, okay. Let me specify capping.
Okay.
Capping is overpowered right now because, and I saw APC talked about this in the last, I think, Twitch stream that he did going over feedback about how he's not seeing as many capper mains as he would have in prior games. And the reason for that is because we haven't given time for content creation and for resources from players to get out and about. Capping is one of the easiest things to learn.
Okay. Oh, to learn, but what about to master, Smerk?
Not to master.
Okay.
There
okay.
are obviously some fine details in there, but if Solo say puts out a video with his cap routes, and we have
which he did,
of new players that come in, which he did. We have these new players come in, they watch these videos. It's so easy to watch and see how to run a route, when to time your stealth pack, when to blink, put on reach, whatever. And if we get ranked mode, we get something like that, and we haven't adjusted the way that capping is done right now, and people just go and watch that, and they're going against a Hoff, who you can't really teach hoffing that easily. You can't really teach chasing that easily. There's going to be an outrage from the scene trying to get capping nerfed.
I think
I wanted the silence to last another 2 seconds.
I just want to say I keep hearing people talking about nerfing invisibility and blink, and maybe I'm completely off base here. I do think they're probably a little too strong, but please do not just make it painful to cap again, please.
Oh no. Right now we're asking, a lot of people I've seen have been asking for buffs for capping, and I don't think that's what we need.
Well, I said this, I think, during the feedback stream I did on Sunday. And one thing I realized with Tribes 3 that didn't really exist as much in previous Tribes. And as I say that, I'm actually starting to, go against myself here. Because there was, remember, center jamming capping? There was something really, really overpowered in Tribes Ascend in the early days. And you can center jam yourself and no one can see you. So it was almost like a blink pack.
There was inf capping, right? Invisible ass.
Well, there was
capping.
inf capping, but there was something with the center jammer itself that was stupid broken. It got nerfed at the next patch.
You're not confusing just me banning the one Sentinel skin.
The smoke.
You couldn't see them.
That's right. That is
broadcast,
true.
Right?
No. There was something else. But here's what I was gonna mention is like, I think the light, what I do, and maybe this is part of the hot take that you're having, Smerk, but I love where the light is in terms of having 3 packs that are viable. Like the thrust pack is very user-friendly and is very intuitive in the sense of it gives you speed in a direction. Like, okay, that's that. The blink pack is a little more advanced because you have to be able to time when you're going to grab the flag, and there's no true indicator of it, and it's on cooldown. And then the stealth capping, which I'll take, I like taking the credit for this one, is like I was getting pissed off I couldn't hit the stand because I kept getting like chewed out halfway through my map, or through the map, is I just equipped the stealth packing and invented stealth capping. And that's viable, but it takes skill. So to what Jim was saying, it's like, maybe it's easy to learn, but it's hard to master. And then there's layers into capping now that it's not just you have a route and you time it perfectly with your offense and you grab it. Like, that's cool. That's fun. That's Tribes. But there's now another layer in it where you can use different packs to have different ways to grab the flag. And as a defensive guy that I am now as Chaser, I have to guess who you are, right? It's like, oh, he's a stealth capper. He's probably going to run this. But, oh, this guy's blink capping. It's Jick. He's going to overshoot it, but blink down. Like, which then forced me to go into a position that was more midfield and say, you know what? I probably can't stop these guys on the stand as much because I'm getting destroyed by heavies. So let me play this midfield role. So, like, I don't know. I tend to like where light is at in terms of its capping ability. Wow, I got more silence after my comment than Smerk did.
I have no clue because I'm a purist. I run thrust pack. I just want to ski and have fun, and blinking or going invisible is way too complicated.
I think there's enough. I think there's enough bullshit that cappers can use right now that once they get really, really good at it, it's going to be tough to stop. There was a couple of pickups that I played, and I'm like, don't know what to do about that. Can't even think about it. I'm DMing the capper. I'm like, that's okay. You just destroyed me. How do people normally stop that? And they're like, you can't. And I'm like, okay, great. This is a fun patch for me.
Yeah. But like you said, like we need more time to cook. Like, 1-2 days to play a playtest. We don't have that time, and therefore we think immediately it's broken. But you give us 3 more weeks, and you're like, all right, I can counter these stealth packs, unless it's overly broken, and we know when those things are day one.
My biggest problem right now is I see a capper coming at me, and I don't know what pack he's got, and I'm like, what are you gonna blink? What's gonna happen? Are you gonna go invisible? What are you gonna do? And I have to figure that out. So,
I like the depth. That's what I'm saying. I think that's cool.
That's just a skill problem, because what you got to do is you see them, read their name, check the scoreboard to figure out what pack they're using.
Okay, so now this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna have somebody just in spectator mode that's gonna tell us what's
exactly, yeah,
who's doing what, and just like anytime. Yeah. Okay, Smerk, if you're gonna play Hoff, this is the new Hoff strat. In the downtime, right? I'll go repair the generators because you need the sensor, right? So I'll repair the gens. You just sit there and hold tab and figure out what pack they're running.
Yeah, we got it locked down, and then just pixel perfect body block, and we're golden.
Yep, we're good.
You would do that with Overwatch, right? Like you would see when someone switched their character, you would hit tab and you'd be like, hey, they're now playing Moira, whatever. It's not uncommon. It's a tactic. It's a way. Like if there is a way to see what pack they're playing, then you should be able to tab to see it then.
I don't even know. I don't know what some of the packs do as well. Like right at this point, we just don't know yet, right? I mean, there's phase, and then that like takes you to another realm, right? There's blink, which just teleports you. There's invisible pack, which makes you go invisible, but then there's secrets out there of how you can become uninvisible, but only some people know that.
Yep,
right.
I learned that too late.
Are we not allowed to say out loud what it is?
It's probably out. Like it's throwing a nitron. Yeah,
it's a bug. And
yeah,
I think they'll
fix
it.
Jim, you're okay. Hold on, Jim. If it was any other position that had bullshit that was exploitable, you would air it.
I'm not
because it's a capper. You're being extremely biased right now.
I'm not at all. I'm not. I do think, based on everything I've heard, that blink and invis are pretty strong. I just never tried them because it's too much work. I just want to go fast.
Yeah.
But I also think like we're gonna figure this out over the next little while. As new things come out, we're gonna try them. Like maybe this strat is you just put mines on the flag and you put a dome shield over them.
If it gets bad enough, we're gonna seriously tell them to bring the BXT back for heavy. All right.
Okay.
So
delete invis, and delete blink, please.
Wow.
Thank you, Jim.
All right, Jim. Well, here's the other thing too, is like I've been like at chasing. You're always going to wear the flag chaser perk, but capping it could be viable if the flag's always off the stand, because not many people knew this, or at least I was surprised that most people didn't know this. And I was talking to Zato with it. It's like if your flag is off the stand, it doesn't have to be in the enemy hand. It could be all the way across the map. You get that perk activated every time it comes off the stand. So I will tell the defense, don't return it, because I want to cap with Flag Chaser on, and I get a free disc jump, which is amazing at the start of my route. Especially if it's like if I want to do a front grab or we're crashing or something, right? So like that will probably change too, maybe not. But there is different ways that not even packs, but you can also use the perks to your advantage based on the circumstance. And I want to have hotkeys, because if I'm a capper, I want 2 loadout or maybe 3 loadouts for cappers, that if I'm about to spawn and the flag's off the stand, I'm loading up with that Flag Chaser perk so I can get a quick jump, versus if the flag's on my stand, I want to be able to quickly load with the Flag Capper perk, right? I don't know. It could be really fun to be able to change your loadouts real quick and adapt to whatever the situation is at the given moment. And then Sterilize is calling us out, calling us bad, and I don't think I've seen him in one PUG on at least the NA side, so I don't know where he's coming from. He's never touched this skill.
I'm not a PUG player. I think I've been
who's
very clear about where my takes come from.
I'm not sure. I just seen hot takes, so I guess this is the hot takes section.
Dude, hot takes are good. That's how you drive engagement, and this game needs more engagement. Let's get more hot takes.
All right.
Ban heavies.
I do think we should ban heavies. Spark, you can get out of here now, okay? This pass, like I have to mid-air you 4 times and you have to shoot me once.
Oh my God.
Are you kidding me?
Fuck
what
that.
am I supposed to do here? How bad do you have to be for me to win that fight?
All right, believe it or not, I want out of Hop jail.
Okay, good. This next playtest, you're not suiting up in heavy. If I catch you in heavy, I'm going to tell APC and Jim on you, and both are going to have talks.
Well, I don't know. Like, if I need a Hoff on my team, I'm gonna put Smerk
Nope.
on Hoff. Like, sorry. Like, it's not gonna be me.
Yeah, you did that to yourself, by the way. You put out a montage, and now look. You think that, like, the So Slow is going to queue for a pug, and somebody's going to be like, I think you make a good LD. It's not
PXG
gonna
made
happen.
such a good montage. But yeah, I had a coaching session on chasing. So
From who?
Ooh.
Tridium Jones in the Pug server.
Okay.
Shot
How'd
out a
you
message,
learn?
said, hey, queue up.
See, that's a name I recognize in the pugs, unlike some.
Yeah, we queued, learning the timing of tribes, because I think that's one of the biggest hurdles for new people coming in, is learning when to time caps, when to time crashing on a flag, when to time going for a chase, or even when to kind of intercept. All the different stuff, because respawns are so big of a resource. I would say that they're a resource. That you really have to be playing around the team in that way, and that's something that it's hard to understand.
Well, what I learned from chasing, like, again, like when it's oppressive on the stand, and you can't stay on your stand because they're portaling in and just killing you as heavies and whatnot. It's not worth hoping and crossing your fingers that you stay alive for when the capper comes in, because a good offense will be coordinated and will take you out as a chaser, and that's that. So I learned, like, you know what? I'm part capper, but, you know, dominant chase. I'm going to learn these cappers' routes early on into the match, and who's blinking and who's stealthing, and I'm going to intercept their routes. Instead of me going onto the flag stand and waiting to hopefully get them when they blink in, I'm just going to hurt them in the middle of their route, and that fucks every capper. Like, I've had a decade plus of capping, and I know how much it sucks. So, you know what? I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to be the guy that, and I think that could be a meta that we never really had midfield as a role, but I feel like, especially with the chase perk being activated anywhere across the map, if someone grabs the flag off your stand and you're in the middle of flat ground in the midfield, you can quickly catch up with them in its current state of the game. So I can either crash the stand and get an E, I can try to intercept the guy midfield. Like, that was a role I started playing at the very end of the playtest, and I'm like, this might be changing the chasing position, or at least moving someone from the flag stand to more of a midfield to maybe support your flag carriers, but mainly intercept cappers and get E grabs.
I agree with that. It's tough to live on a stand right now, unless you destack and then can just focus fire everybody that's coming in down. The good thing right now is if your sensor is up, you know where the cappers are coming very easily. If your sensor is down, sometimes, I mean, I was playing a couple of games where it's like, I can't see this person at all. So there's a huge difference there right now. That's obviously going to change probably between now and like tournament time or even launch time. But right now it seems like really playing like man defense on the capper itself is the way to go. Walking still incredibly hard in this game. I think it should be, right. We need to have cappers. Let's not just send 4 heavies after it and do a bank robbery.
Yeah, I don't think anyone, hopefully no one on this podcast supports llama crabbing.
Hey, there's a time and place for it. You can cluster at home, like, hey, their D's down, they're respawning. Let's just grab it and walk it home. Take the portal set by HotRod. You know, like, it works.
If I'm coming in fast and that puppy grabs my flag, dude, banned.
Oh, yeah. See, guys, like, don't get him mad. He has too much power.
Don't give him
it's
power.
Going to his head.
This is what I'm saying. Like, it's gonna. You think that like he's gonna start playing Dota again, right? And then he's gonna play like a couple of tribes games a week, and he's still gonna want to cap, and he's just not gonna understand the meta, and he's gonna start banning people until he is the best.
No, dude, I'm switching to Smite 2 in a few months. That's the first step. That's the first step. Smite 2, Dota 2. There's a bit of Minecraft mixed in too, but
dude, I had 3 separate people on the announcement of Smite 2 DM me, and 2 of them don't play Tribes 3 these days. They just know it's out and they don't want to play it right now. And they're just saying, I'm sorry, but can you see how ridiculous the timing this is when Tribes Ascend came out and then Smite came out shortly after, and then Tribes died because of Smite theory, which maybe isn't a theory. And then Tribes 3 comes out, and now Smite 2 is coming out, is that going to be the, is it PTSD? Like 11, 12 years later, we now have another Smite coming out at the same time as another Tribes.
It's so funny.
It's
me.
funny.
Like, I just thought it
It's
was
funny.
fucking hilarious. I'm not concerned really about it. I don't think it changes anything. I just thought, damn, it is fucking funny.
It's the PTSD on people. I laughed my ass off when someone pointed that out to me. I was like, holy shit, you're absolutely right. But
so funny.
this time it is two different teams, right? It is two different companies, two different teams, so that the resources aren't going to be yoinked from Tribes to throw them over the Smite 2. They're already pumping that out and running it, and they already have Smite to take care of anyway. So it's a different circumstance, but it's just hilarious timing. It couldn't be any better.
Yeah, that was hilarious. It really brightened my day.
Yeah, you changed your whole Discord to be Smite 2 branded.
Yeah. For a while there. Yeah.
Oh, you change it back?
No, it's back now. Yeah, I
Okay.
didn't want to keep it too long. Yeah.
All
Those are
right.
good days.
Are we running dry of things to talk about? I got hot takes as the last topic, or at least we don't have a run a show, but I don't even think hot takes was on the plan. I think we wanted to go draft tournament, PUGs, new player experience, and then when the playtest got announced, we're like, hey, let's talk about the playtest and the game modes, which we did all that plus more. So I don't know. Did we not talk about what we wanted to talk about?
I mean, I think we got an hour scheduled for the finals now, right?
All right, we're gonna go switch over to the finals real quick.
I'm down. Let's do it.
Unless HotRodRe wants to.
That's a
We'll
great
talk
game.
about the finals. So I
I
don't
love
care.
that game.
It is a lot of fun. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
All right, cool. Well, it's starting to get to close to dinner time, so I'll do that and see where you guys are at when I'm done with that. So let's sign out with it. You guys are East Coasters. We got a Central Coaster, I think. But let's call this a day. I will raid JP after this. I think that's a good idea. I respect him as a person, as a gamer, and he's playing midair, which is as close as you can get to Tribes these days, I guess.
Yeah, damn.
So, Hot Rod, final thoughts?
Yeah, excited about another playtest. I hope that the casual game mode is something super fun and kind of a little wacky, right? Let's make it funny at least, right? That's what I'm hoping for. So, looking forward to hearing that more than anything tomorrow.
Awesome. I just had someone called Adam follow me, and I hope that they're not making fun of my name, Adam. So I'm just gonna pretend you're not. Jim, any final thoughts?
Sign up for the draft tournament. I'm gonna link the comp Discord in chat now, because people are asking for it, in case they didn't get it. And yeah, I think just like really sign up for that tournament. Like join the fun. It's gonna be a good time. It's only gonna take a few hours of your Saturday. Football will be there when it's over.
Yeah,
So,
we got to figure out who we're cheering for now.
Yeah.
Go Lions.
I think the Lions. I was gonna say the Lions.
Yeah.
We're cheering for Buffalo and Detroit because they are the two most Canadian teams in the
Understood.
NFL.
That
Okay.
works.
I like both of them to win. Smerk.
Yeah, I'll echo new players. Please join the draft tourney. When I was playing Overwatch, I joined a draft community tournament there, and that's what got me into playing competitive. One of the most fun times I had, and it gave me kind of a reason to want to grind with more drafts and working up the ranks. At the same time, new players get involved. Just in general, play the game, have fun. Let's put the geriatrics to bed. I don't know what more to say.
Here we go.
But yeah, I'm excited for Tribes where it's going to go, and I think there's a good future. But
Sweet.
it's all fun.
It's people like you that give me hope, Smirk, because how fast you picked up Tribes and how much you enjoy it and talk on it makes me feel like there's many other people out there that can do it too. They just need to get the game shoved into their face and say, try this. So I think there's a time and place to push it a little harder. Now's not the time because of the alpha, but I think we'll get there. I'm excited to see what the potential could be when we get out of alpha, which early access starts later this quarter. Is that what was confirmed?
I think so.
And whatever that
Right?
means.
Yeah.
I don't know what early
Seems
access
like
even means.
maybe?
When's Smite coming out?
There said something like that. Smite's in early alpha spring 2024, so I
Okay.
think we beat it
Right before then.
maybe, yeah, to early access, yeah.
All right. Yeah, maybe it's February, which is right down the road. All right, cool. My final thoughts is thanks for tuning in as always. Rivalsrumble.com for the draft tournament. Smirk, Jim, thanks for being our guest today. Would love to have you again. Jim, this is the second time on my stream. Hot Rod, always good. I hope we could keep doing this together. And
This is
then
great.
anybody out there, like, look, I'm here to help anywhere I can as long as I have time to do it. So hit me up if you need something, or if you have any comments, feedback, you want to, take my DMs and yell at me more. That's great too. But until then, enjoy watching JP. I'm going to shuffle you guys over there and get you out of my face. Yeah, that was rude, but I kind of meant it to be rude. All right. See you guys on the other side. Thanks for watching.
See ya.
Later.